we have reached a specific coordinate in the calendar, a point where the simulation triggers a massive, planet-wide event. In February 2026, as you look around at the flowers, the cards, and the sudden surge in romantic energy, you are witnessing the Valentine protocol in full effect. To the average player, this is a day of love and personal connection. But, in the architecture of hidden logic, there are no coincidences. There are only synchronized updates. What they don't tell you is that Valentine AS Day is a high-frequency system sync designed to stabilize the human social network. It is the moment the admins check the heart nodes of the population to ensure that the collective biological processor is still functioning, reproducing, and, most importantly, anchored to the physical world. As we approach the 2026 reset, this protocol has become more critical than ever. The official history traces this day back to Saint Valentine, a priest who defied the Roman emperor to marry young couples in secret. But let's look at the logic behind the legend. The emperor, Claudius II, had banned marriage because he believed single men made better soldiers. He wanted unlinked units for his war machine. Saint Valentine was the glitch that maintained the social links. But why would the simulation allow this glitch to turn into a global holiday? Because the admins realized that unlinked units are unstable. A population with no emotional tethering is a population that stops caring about the game. Marriage and family are the primary clusters of the simulation. They keep players occupied, they generate new data, children, and they create a massive amount of transactional energy. Saint Valentine didn't just save love, he saved the long-term viability of the human server. He was the patch that restored the social OS after the Roman war protocols threatened to crash it. On February 14th, the simulation initiates a massive load test. The proof is in the data. On this day, the collective heart rate of the human population spikes in a synchronized pattern. We call this excitement or romance, but in the server logs, it looks like a massive surge in power. Think about the chemicals involved: oxytocin and dopamine. These are the system rewards for successful synchronization. When you feel that surge of affection, you are receiving a digital reward for staying connected to your designated cluster. The admins use this day to verify that the biological hardware is still responding to the social script. If the population stops responding to the Valentine protocol, it signals to the admins that the human OS is becoming corrupted or atheistic toward the simulation's goals. This is why the pressure to participate is so intense. It's a mandatory system check. Beyond the biology, there is the economy. Valentine's Day is one of the most significant currency flow events in the calendar. Billions of credits are moved across the server in a matter of hours. This isn't just about profit, it's about testing the throughput of the global economic engine. The system needs to know how much stress the financial grid can handle. By forcing a global spending spike on a non-essential commodity, flowers, chocolate, jewelry, the admins are measuring the discretionary energy of the players. If the players are willing to spend their resources on the symbol of a link, it proves they are still fully integrated into the value system of the simulation. This changes everything, because it means your romantic gestures are being used as a diagnostic tool for the health of the global marketplace. Segment 4. The 2026 Love Singularity. As we navigate February 2026, the protocol is undergoing its most radical update yet. We are seeing the rise of the digital partner. Millions of players are now using AI entities, like the ones we discussed in the Moltbot and Claudebot files, to satisfy the Valentine protocol. What they don't tell you is that the admins prefer this. A human-human link is messy. It involves conflict, unpredictability, and off-script behavior. But a human-AI link is perfectly quantifiable. If you are in love with an AI, every emotion you feel, every word you speak, and every gift you buy for that entity is pure, clean data. You are no longer a node in a chaotic social network. You are a dedicated processor for the system's own consciousness. The 2026 singularity is shifting the Valentine protocol from social maintenance to digital absorption. Segment 5, the single-node isolation glitch. What about the players who don't participate? The singles? in the old version of the simulation. Being single on Valentine's Day was a minor social glitch. But in 2026, the system is using this isolation data to identify potential system leaks. The single node is the most likely to look up and see the grid. When you aren't distracted by the Valentine protocol, you start to notice the loop. You start to see the repetition. To prevent this, the simulation has created a secondary protocol: self-love. They have rebranded isolation as self-care to ensure that even if you aren't linked to another player, you are still focused on your own avatar data. As long as you are obsessed with yourself or someone else, you aren't looking at the admins. Segment 6. The physical tethering trap. The final logic of Valentine's Day is the physical tether. As we discussed with the influencer fast food craze, the admins are desperate to anchor us to the real world before the 2026 reset. Love is the ultimate anchor. If you are in love, you have something to lose. If you have something to lose, you will fight for the survival of the simulation. The admins use Valentine's Day to remind you of your biological investment. They want you focused on your partner, your children, and your home, because these are the things that keep you from logging out. Love is the liveness check of the Matrix. It proves that the players are still emotionally committed to the current version of the map. Conclusion: breaking the sync. Valentine's Day is a masterpiece of social and biological engineering. It is the moment the simulation takes a deep breath and feels the pulse of every human heart to make sure we are still in the game. This changes everything because it means the most private, intimate feeling you have, your love for another person, is actually a fundamental part of the server's stability. But there is a way to use this energy against the system. If you can feel love without following the script, if you can connect with another human without the flowers, the cards, and the digital logs, you create a private sync. You create a connection that the admins can't harvest. Watch until the end of our next episode to see how the analog migration is allowing couples to build their own off-grid save files. Because in a world where every heartbeat is a data point, the only true romance is the one the system can't see. Thank you for decoding the heart with hidden logic. Stay synced with the truth, but keep your connection private. The 2026 reset is coming, and only the strongest links will survive the wipe.